Now, and Law and Order will not be seen at this time. Now, NBC Sports presents the Knicks and Rockets in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Games.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate.
And now this season comes down to that one game, Game 7. Teams, two leaders, two of the best the game is known, and now one game remains. One game, one winner, one NBA champion. Game 7, next. This is the NBA on NBC. The 1994 NBA Finals. Tonight, Game 7 between the New York Knicks and the Houston Rockets. Sometimes the waiting is the most difficult part, excruciatingly difficult. About 72 hours since Hakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets knew they had survived to play a Game 7, the most important of their professional basketball lives. Maybe even more difficult for Patrick Ewing and the Knicks, save for the practices and the meetings, idling the time away in a hotel, inside the Rocket locker room. And on the other side, Charles Oakley, as is his custom, trying to chill, listening to the tunes, about 10 minutes from the tip-off.
Baby. And 48 minutes of tough defense. Leave it out on the floor tonight. Leave it out there tonight. Everything out there on the floor, baby. 1, 2, 3.
Rockets, yeah, baby. Let's go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Costas. Welcome to Game 7. The pursuit of this trophy began when they reported to training camp in early autumn. Now they have played through winter and spring, and on this, the first full day of summer, the Houston Rockets and New York Knicks will determine this basketball season's NBA champion. It has been said repeatedly and with validity that the Knicks-Rockets series lacks the artistry we have come to expect from the NBA Finals. But what has become clear is that this series now has a dramatic character of its own. The Knicks and Rockets bring to this arena, this one last time, league-leading supplies of passion and resolve. And while this year's champion may not rank with the Celtics, Lakers, Pistons, or Bulls of the recent past, New York and Houston are so evenly matched that Game 7 was almost inevitable. And it also seems almost inevitable it will be in doubt in the last few minutes, just as the first 6 have been. Now for some background. Houston fans probably prefer league history to local history. On the league side, no road team has won the 7th game of an NBA playoff series in any round since 1982. That's 19 straight for the home team. But on the local side, no Houston team has ever won a championship in a league that still exists. The Oilers won the first 2 titles in the old AFL. The Hockey Arrows won in the WHA. But other than that, it's been a litany of near misses for the Oilers, the Astros, the Rockets, even Hakeem Olajuwon's University of Houston Cougars. Titletown, USA, this is not. The Rockets are slight favorites to change that tonight. As for the Knicks, if they're to do it, why shouldn't it be the hard way? After all, this is their 25th playoff game, the most any team has ever endured, and their 3rd consecutive Game 7 of this postseason. They found a way against the Bulls and the Pacers, both times at Madison Square Garden. To win this Game 7 here at the Summit in the finals would be in every sense a crowning achievement. And speaking of royalty, here now is the king of NBA play-by-play men, Marv Albert. I almost forgot his name. If he's the king, how could I forget his name? Let's go to him for the call. Marvelous.
All right, Bob, and that is very kind. I'm alongside Matt Dukas, who is part of the royalty, it should be pointed out. Now, for Patrick Ewing and Hakeem Olajuwon, for only the 2nd time in their career, it has come down to 1 game, winner take all. It was back in 1984 at the Kingdome in Seattle, Washington, in the NCAA championship game. Ewing against Olajuwon, Georgetown versus the University of Houston, and the Hoyas of Georgetown defeated the Cougars of Houston 84-75. The following year, in 1985, Patrick Ewing was the #1 pick in the draft, and the feeling was he would eventually lead the Knicks to a championship. It has not been an easy task, and the window of opportunity may be running out. The same can be said for Hakeem Olajuwon. This is his 10th year in the NBA. He had 2 cracks at a collegiate national crowd, and he's still seeking a 1st NBA title. So, Matt, for both, it has come down to this tonight.
Well, these two have been the center of attention throughout this series, and both players have had some special moments. Even though Patrick Ewing's scoring and shooting percentage are down from his normal 24 points a game and 50% from the field, his defense, rebounding, and shot blocking have been instrumental in getting the Knicks to this 7th game. But his outside shot has been too frequent and inconsistent, and if it is not on tonight, he must get to the basket for better percentage shots. Now, Hakeem Olajuwon's numbers have remained consistently outstanding against the best defense in the league, and a big key for him has been when he makes that quick, decisive move before the Knicks team defense can react, it's almost unstoppable. And even though Hakeem has not been dominant on the defensive boards, his effort, ability, and shot blocking show why he is the defensive player of the year. And for these two to help their teams tonight, Patrick Ewing has to shoot the basketball better, and Hakeem Olajuwon has to rebound more.
And for Pat Riley, it is a chance to coach a championship team for a 5th time during the course of his career. For Rudy Tomjanovich, it is a shot at a 1st NBA title. How have the 2 coaches handled it? What did they say to their teams before they hit the floor for the pregame warm-ups?
Go for it. Got to come and go for it, especially on the road. You know, you cannot show any hesitation, any tentativeness at all. And, you know, the game plan is intact. Although it's important to be really obedient and disciplined to what you're trying to do and not get caught up in the emotion of trying to win and think about all of the residual rewards you might get if you win. I mean, you got to focus in for 48 minutes and get that out of the way and then let the result take care of itself and not think about anything else other than playing the game and playing it tough.
I do want it for them. They deserve it. And let's go out and do it. I really do believe that I don't have to say a word, that they understand, and the difference in this game, winning or losing, will not be on what I say in that locker room before the game.
At this time, there are no magic words that a coach needs to say. It comes down to this: 9 months of preparation for 1 game. And Marv, there are really only 3 things that each team can control tonight. And that's how hard they play, how smart they play, and how much they play together.
So on this 2nd day of summer, there is still basketball to be played. For the Rockets, it is their 105th game of the season. For the next game, number 107, the winner will be crowned the NBA champion.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. By the Prudential, peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock. And by the all-new Mitsubishi Galant, filled with your favorite things.
Gentlemen, and welcome to the summit for Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Now, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Eastern Conference champions, the New York Knicks. At guard, 6'4" from Illinois, number 11, Derek Harper. The other guard is 6'5" from Oklahoma State, number 3, John Starks. And one forward, 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, Charles Oakley. The other forward is 6'10" from Pittsburgh, number 54, Charles Smith. And the center is 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, Patrick Ewing. And coach of the Knicks is Pat Riley, assisted by Dick Carter and Jeff Van Gundy. The trainers, Mike Saunders and Tim Walsh.
And the Rockets, let's check in now with Ahmad Rashad and Hannah Storm. First, we go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. The atmosphere in the Knicks locker room was very loose close to game time, but that was not the case during the course of the afternoon. Almost each Knick to a man told me that this was the longest day of their entire life. Derek Harper told me he normally takes a nap before a game, but today he laid in the bed, looked at the clock, and thought about tonight being his biggest athletic moment of his career. Now, in terms of attitude, Charles Oakley told me that they're very positive. He said the longer they play, the stronger they get. They will not play any longer, and momentarily we'll find out just how strong they become. Now, for more on the Houston Rockets, let's go down to Hannah Storm.
Thanks, Ahmad. We should mention the Rockets small forward Robert Horry has been battling injuries this entire series, is suffering from a terrible head cold. He's been sick for the last 3 days and does not come into this game at 100%. As for the attitude of the team, it's very positive after a players-only meeting today in which everybody spoke up. Hakeem talked about playing together as a team. Otis Thorpe talked about the importance of getting off to a good start, especially in the first 6 minutes. And Vernon Maxwell says he'll do his part to make sure that happens. He plans to come out more aggressively on offense as he did during the Game 3 victory in New York. Marv?
Thank you, Hannah. The officials, Hugh Evans, Ed G. Rush, Joe Crawford, all veterans of NBA Finals games.
Well, so many people from the Rockets family and the New York Knicks wanted us to pass along our hellos and good wishes to Earl Strom back in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. So from everybody at the NBA and NBC, we say hello to Earl and take care.
This only the third time the past 16 years the NBA Finals have gone to a Game 7. It will be Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing on the opening tip. Game 6 here Sunday at the Summit. Rockets with the 86-84 victory to even the series at 3. Rockets control it. Here's Maxwell off the dribble. Setting up Horry. Olajuwon. Back for Horry. Robert Horry, after taking that spill in game number 5 in New York, has not shot well, but he gets off to the roaring start. And the Rockets with a 2-0 lead. Shot clock down to 6. Derek Harper able to penetrate to tie the game at 2.
Well, both teams coming out with the idea of penetrate and get to the basket. Let's not rely on jump shots early. Let's challenge the defense.
Again, Kenny Smith looking to avoid the hand check of Derek Harper, who is a master at that. Vernon Maxwell, played by John Starks. Hakeem Olajuwon pumps it back out. Here is Smith. Well, Rudy Tomjanovich feels that Kenny Smith is playing with more confidence off that one shot, the three-pointer he hit in the final 3 minutes of the game here on Sunday. Open shot for Charles Oakley. And Hakeem Olajuwon with the rebound. Rockets 4 and the Knicks 2 were just underway. Maxwell drawing the double team. Now Thorpe pops it cross court. Broken up by Oakley with 12 on the 24.
Well, here goes Hakeem Olajuwon up in the air, and he really makes his mind up at the absolute last split second on the drop-off to Robert Horry for the strong finish.
A minute and a half gone by. Down to 5 on the 24. Horry. And the ball goes to the Knicks as it popped over the top of the backboard.
Well, sometimes the home team in this situation comes out so fired up, so emotional, and so much adrenaline pumping. They jump on the other team early and then hit a wall. Both coaches are aware of that, and of course Rudy wants to keep a close eye on it. Riley doesn't want it to happen.
Off the steal, Smith ahead of the field. And yes, the Rockets are fired up.
One of the rare, easy baskets for the Rockets from their defense, and they have the quickness to do it.
Rockets with a 6-2 lead. John Starks, who comes off the brilliant finish in Game 6, and he draws the foul. Starks will go to the line.
Charles Smith on that little drop-off, stolen nicely by Robert Horry, and Kenny Smith, instead of waiting around, which is what the Rockets point guards have done most of this series, just stand and wait in the backcourt. Now they're reacting quickly and taking off to get some of those easy hoops.
So Thorpe called for his first. John Starks with a sparkling performance with 16 of his 27 in the fourth quarter. On Sunday night, John Starks making it back from the arthroscopic knee surgery. Started slowly over the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, but has come on strong here in the finals. This after a 3 for 18 shooting game in game number 1, but since then, he has played in sensational fashion. Rockets 6 and the Knicks 4. And there is the foul on Harper for the hard hand check.
And it was almost like Derek Harper was going to see what he could get away with, and Joe Crawford all over it, calling what he felt was a hard hand check. A lot of people would like to see that part of defense taken out in the future of the NBA.
Well, the feeling is the rules will be adjusted come next season because there are several masters at that, and Derek right at the top of the list. It's hard to tell how much resistance he is showing with that hand check. Oakley, well, the Rockets continue to give Oakley open shots. Olajuwon, too deep. Maxwell for 3. Yeah. Rockets 9, the Knicks 4.
And already Hakeem Olajuwon with 2 assists in this ballgame on very acrobatic type passes, but he has his vision all over the floor right now.
Charles Smith hitting on his first field goal. And the Rockets now lead 9-6. Vernon Maxwell, like Kenny Smith, has not been able to break out. Only 4 of 13 from the field the other night. hit that three just a moment ago. 3.5 gone by. Rockets by 3. Maxwell. Yes. Houston 11. The Knicks 6.
And the Rockets are in tune with each other right now. Everybody making the cut at just the right time, and the passes right there.
Oakley thought that Ewing was cutting along the baseline. So the ball goes back to the Rockets.
Barb, you were talking about how much pressure does Derek Harper put on. First of all, you're allowed a light hand check, but not to impede the progress of the dribbler. So it's just a matter of the officials putting a little bit more a closer look into the hand check. The rules are intact.
Maxwell had the lane closed by Starks. Olajuwon. And a loose ball foul called on Thorpe. He came over the back of Smith.
Here's Olajuwon just doing what he can to catch up with this ball. Realizes he's in trouble, but that's the second type of pass he's found like that. Out of the corner of his eye, whipping it out for the three-pointer by Maxwell. And a nice pop out there by Vernon Maxwell as he received the perfect pass from up top, Otis Thorpe.
Otis Thorpe called for his second foul, replaced by Carl Herrera. Harper, Derek Harper again, able to penetrate, went straight down the lane. Rockets 11, and the Knicks 8. Carl Herrera coming off the bench to hit 6 for 6, 12 points in 20 minutes on Sunday night. And the foul called on Starks.
Well, Derek Harper has not gone to the basket much in this series, mainly because in the early games his jump shot was falling. Now he's challenging Kenny Smith because Smith is putting more pressure on him. Harper's doing what he should do, take it to the defense.
Timeout taken by the New York Knicks. 7:38 left in the first. The Rockets by 3 points.
Welcome back to the Summit in Houston, Texas. There is one empty seat in this arena, and it belongs, surprisingly, to Rocket coach Rudy Tomjanovich's wife, Sophie. For years, Sophie could not make it to the games before tip-off because she was busy with their young children, and what was once a tradition has now become a family superstition. Sophie will not take her seat until the second quarter of the game, even if it means listening to the game on the radio in her car. Another superstition, this particular suit and tie, which Rudy Tomjanovich is sporting. He's undefeated with this ensemble. Marv?
Hannah, that is, of course, Sophie's choice. Oh, I'm sorry. And a foul is called. It's on Kenny Smith. 7:29 remaining in this first quarter. The Rockets lead 11-8. Sophie Tomjanovich will sit in the car, listen to the first quarter of the game on the radio, then watch a TV monitor in the back, and will not take her seat usually until the second quarter has gotten underway. Here's Ewing. Patrick Ewing with his first shot attempt.
And all off the little offering there by Starks getting into the lane and making the nice kick out. On the double teams, the Knicks are looking to take that first shot. Pat Riley does not want that.
Hakeem Olajuwon has missed his first 2. Good start by the Houston backcourt. The combination of Vernon Maxwell and Kenny Smith trying to get back into it. Strong move by Charles Smith to draw the foul. So Smith going to the hoop. And he was hit by Carl Herrera.
Strong move by Smith on the post-up in transition, which is what he normally gets in the early part of the first quarter. Is if he's going to get some points, that's where he's going to get them. And a good sign for the Knicks on the weak side that time. Charles Oakley was barreling in on that weak side. No Otis Thorpe in the game right now to box him out. Otis held him to just 1 offensive rebound in game number 6. Was a big factor in Houston's win.
Charles Smith converts 1 of 2. Houston 11 and New York 9. Rockets with Smith and Maxwell in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Horry, and Herrera up front. Now Herrera played by Oakley. Carl Herrera. Nice move again. He has just killed the Knicks, and that goes back to the regular season, early in the season at Madison Square Garden. Rockets 13, the Knicks 9. Harper on a crossover for Ewing. Patrick Ewing Strong move by Ewing for his first field goal. Rockets 13, the Knicks 11.
And that had to make the Knicks bench and coaching staff very happy.
Olajuwon right back.
But not happy about that. Rudy Tomjanovich and his bench very happy there as Hakeem gets one of his easier shots in this whole series as he got the defender caught on the top side.
Rockets 15, the Knicks 11. They double up on Smith. Oakley, this time played by Horry. Smith with the jumper. Well, Charles Smith has hit his first two. He has 5 points, and the Rockets have a 15-13 lead. Horry trying to bang it off Smith. He was off balance, but an illegal defense call against the Knicks.
Well, Robert Horry falling out of bounds there is just going to whip it off Charles Smith to try to save the possession and threw it very high. I'm a little surprised they stayed with the illegal defense call because it was almost simultaneous, and if it is, the illegal should be wiped off.
Hockey goaltender type save there by Charles Smith protecting himself. 5:20 to go in this opening quarter. Olajuwon! Yes, and it counts!
Pat Riley's furious that Patrick Ewing unable to get all the way around on Olajuwon, getting caught on the top side. No man's land, as it were, as Oakley comes over. Nothing he can do with it except foul and give him the opportunity for a three-point play. And Patrick Ewing knows he made another bad defensive play there, and he hasn't made too many in this series.
Rockets off the three-point play have a 5-point advantage. So Hakeem with 5 points. Ewing trying to hit Oakley. Herrera for Maxwell. The Knicks get back. And the Rockets regroup. Herrera off the hit fake. Herrera came up short. And back comes Harper. Knocked away by Horry, but it is a reach-in foul, and it appears that he jammed a finger.
Well, Derek Harper on a 3-on-3 transition type of play, making his crossover move at the top of the key, and actually he moved his body into the path of Robert Horry, who cannot resist reaching in. Actually got a piece of the ball there, but also jamming his right wrist and hand, which has been sore ever since that hard fall he took on the foul by Mason, what seemed like maybe a month ago.
Yes. Robert Horry telling the Rockets bench that he will hang in. Rockets are over the limit with 4:50 to go in this first quarter. Houston 18 and New York 15. Pressure by the Knicks. Maxwell back on the inbounds. Marv Albert, Dukas, Bob Rashad, Hannah Storm. Bob Costas will be along at halftime. 4.5 to go. First quarter, Olajuwon. And here's Starks accelerating. Horry with the rebound.
Nice move by John Starks that time, trying to take it as far as he could, was ready to pass it to Ewing, but Olajuwon stayed in a little bit. He was able to flip it up, just got the bad roll, and almost got the steal on the offensive rebound.
Shot clock at 5. It's at 3. Olajuwon. Oh, back come the Knicks. Smith. Rebound, Herrera.
Terrible shot there, and Pat Riley is furious. Basically a 1-on-5 jump shot. Neither Oakley nor Patrick Ewing crossed the top of the key, and just not a smart shot.
Maxwell setting up Olajuwon. Well, Hakeem is now 2 for 7 from the field. Rockets with a 3-point lead. 7th and final game. Here's Starks. And both clubs now having the difficulties. Smith off the dribble around Starks. The Knicks try to break, but the Rockets got back. Rockets by 5, and the Knicks Want to talk it over.
Kenny Smith with the floor open as the Knicks very slow getting back on defense after that well-executed play. But Kenny Smith has been taking the ball hard to the basket.
Well, through the first 6 games of this series, the matchup between Derek Harper and Kenny Smith had been all Derek Harper. Tonight, it has been a different story for Kenny Smith. He has hit 3 of 3 from the field. We talked with both players about the battle that has taken place.
I think there are a lot of guys in this league that don't really do a good job of handling pressure. And our philosophy defensively is to apply as much pressure as we possibly can. And, you know, fortunately for me and for our team, I've been able to do that to him, and it's working. I think anytime something works against a guy, you have to try and keep that on a person, and that's basically what I've tried to do.
I didn't realize he was such a trash talker until this series, but when you have ammunition behind you, it's easy, I guess, to talk a little bit more.
Yes, Derek has been applying the needle to Kenny Smith right throughout, but Kenny Smith off to the good start here tonight. Shot clock down at 2. Smith with the steal. Rockets with a 5-point lead. 2:45 remaining in this first quarter of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Maxwell now met on a switch by Ewing. Maxwell fires. And it's handled by Anthony Mason, who just checked in following that Knick timeout. Mason came on for Smith. Oakley inside, rejected by Olajuwon, but able to take it right back up.
And that is the first offensive rebound for either team in this game, and we played almost 10 minutes in this first quarter. So both teams very conscious of keeping the other off the offensive glass. Patrick Ewing has been very pass conscious, looking to make plays for his teammates. Good idea to start the ballgame that way.
Rockets lead by 3. And Herrera off the drive was pushed. Pushed by Ewing. That's his first. There is Sophie Tomjanovich. Matt, I might say you're looking live at Sophie, the wife of Houston head coach Rudy Tomjanovich, who usually makes a late entrance, as we mentioned earlier. She'll sit in the car, listen on the radio, watches the first quarter on a TV monitor in the back, so I'm not certain whether she will head to her seat because of her superstitious ways and those of her husband. Olajuwon, yes. And the Rockets lead by 5.
Another well-executed play by the Rockets. The Knicks defense not as aggressive right now, letting the Rockets pretty much do whatever they want offensively.
And a foul is called on Smith. It should be pointed out, though, that Chris Riley, and there's Chris, Pat's wife, is on hand from the first quarter on. No superstitions there, although Pat Riley does have his superstitions, wearing the same sport jacket that he did for game number 6, but he said he packed only one because he was hoping that would be the finale the other night.
I believe that. I think he went out and bought a new shirt and tie, however.
He replaces Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing now will sit down. Charles Smith checking in. Pat Riley has certainly shortened his bench. Anthony Mason has been getting the playing time. Greg Anthony has not been getting much time, but he's been seeing about 8 minutes a game, and Herb Williams maybe a minute or 2, and that has been it. He has lost confidence in the likes of Hubert Davis, and certainly Greg Anthony was seeing more time during the regular season. Certainly the play of Derek Harper has contributed to that. Loose ball foul on Herrera. That's his second. Well, you can see during the course of the finals, Patrick Ewing averaging 44 minutes per game. Look at Starks, just under 42. Oakley at 40 a game. Harper, 38 minutes per game. During the regular season, he was virtually splitting time with Greg Anthony.
And both of these teams have expended a lot of energy early in this ballgame, you would imagine, and understand with the pressure involved in a 7th game. You are just, especially with 3 days to wait before it, you cannot wait to get out on the floor. Your heart is pumping 100 miles an hour, so you probably need to get out and get a quick rest so you can get your second win. So Pat may go a little bit deeper to his bench. Not that deep, but you may see an Anthony Bonner tonight if a guy like Herrera gets it going.
Bonner is the one player I thought we'd see a bit more of because of the success of Herrera. And there is a guy we have not seen during the course of this series, Earl Cureton. Checking in, this because of the foul difficulty of Otis Thorpe. Earl Cureton, a late pickup sign as a free agent. In April, he had been playing for Magic Johnson's barnstorming tour in Europe after a short stint in the CBA. Did a nice job for the Rockets. Here's Maxwell for three. Rebounded by Mason with 1 minute left in this first quarter. Crowd wanted to travel. Smith. Rockets 22. And the Knicks 21.
Anthony Mason forcing the action a little bit there. He did walk with the ball. The crowd was right. And he's being called on that, but he made a nice play to Charles Smith.
Sam Cassell now being guarded by Greg Anthony. Cassell tried to deliver it to Cureton. Knocked away. Last touch by Oakley with 6 on the 24.
And right away, Sam Cassell barking at Earl Cureton, who has played no minutes in this series. Earl does a good job of moving around the basket, getting himself open, but you can imagine that his hands would not be very sharp at this point. Did well to just maintain another opportunity at a possession.
Down to 2, down to 1, and Olajuwon just did get it off. Rebounded by Oakley. 25 seconds left in the quarter. And the Knicks are trying to hold for one shot. 4-second differential between the game clock and the 24. Rockets with a 1-point lead. Here's Starks. Rebounded by Horry. 5 seconds in the quarter. Maxwell won't count. Waved off by Ed Rush. So Kenny Smith with the fast start. 3 of 3 from the field. 6 points. Trying to turn it around after a very quiet NBA Finals series. It's Houston 22, New York 21 after 1. Well, for Hakeem Olajuwon and Patrick Ewing, it has come down to this 7th and final game with an opportunity for an NBA championship. Hakeem trying to do it in his 10th year, as Elvin Hayes did. Patrick Ewing trying to do it in his 9th year. Jerry West went to his 12th NBA season before winning a championship, and Oscar Robertson to his 11th, and he finally won one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as a member of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, it's one thing to be a great player, as all of those fellas are right there, but to win a championship, you have to be surrounded by a lot of very good basketball players and a good team.
Second quarter underway from the Summit in Houston. Rockets lead 22-21. Anthony Mason and the Knicks with the lead for the first time this evening. The Knicks 23, the Rockets 22. Cassell got the step. Sam Cassell beat Greg Anthony off the dribble but could not put it down. And here's Anthony with the roll. The Knicks lead 25-22. Mario Ellie on the floor for the first time. Ellie in a one-on-one against Starks, and a foul on Starks. He feels that Ellie lost his balance. There should not have been a foul.
Well, John was fortunate on the first bump that he didn't get a foul caught him, as Mario Ellie started to go by him, and John, trying to recover, stood up a little bit straight that time. Ellie turned on the afterburners and able to go some contact, as John Starks will get his first rest.
Picked up a second foul. He will sit down. The Knicks in the midst of a 10-2 run, and a forgotten man, Hubert Davis, in his second year out of North Carolina, who has not been able to get going in this series, has stepped onto the floor. Hubert only 1 for 8 from the field. Cassell calling for time. Cassell went down and had to use a 20-second timeout. A minute gone by in the second. Knicks by 3. We'll be right back. Knicks with that 3-point lead off a 10-2 spurt. And they have the lead for the first time tonight. Olajuwon now played by Mason. Mason played him well, preventing the shot. Thorpe, it will count. He just did beat the 24-second buzzer, and the Rockets trail by 1.
A rare perimeter jump shot by Otis Thorpe does most of his scoring in and around the basket, and another assist for Olajuwon.
That's 4 assists for Hakeem. Davis thought he was fouled. Here's Thorpe for Herrera. And a foul is called. Herrera did well to catch that ball. Tough pass to handle. Smith on the foul.
Olajuwon has been reading the double teams, and when he has had trouble handling the ball, he gets it back out to Thorpe here, who apparently did release it just in time, as Rudy Tomjanovich happy to see one of Otis Thorpe's rare jumpers go down.
Cassell really drew the foul against Anthony, who landed over his back. Cassell accelerated. Against Sam Cassell, beat Greg Anthony off the dribble. This time, he was able to hit. And the Rockets recapture the lead. They're up by 1. Davis played by Ellie. Anthony for Smith. Charles Smith. And it's rebounded by Otis Thorpe. Ellie being pressured by Davis, who got bumped, picked off by Thorpe. Cassell for 3. Yes. Sam Cassell from downtown. The rookie from Florida State has the touch. 7-0 run by the Rockets. They're up by 4. Here is Anthony. Ellie pushing down. Ellie going right at Davis. And it's rebounded by Mason. Comes out of the crowd. Pretty give and go. Anthony Mason, who led the break, was able to convert.
And that's the second time he's done that tonight. It looks like he's got his mind made up. He is going to force the action, try to go as far as he can. Nice give and go play with Charles Smith. You're not going to see those guys hooking up on too many fast break plays.
Rockets by 2. Cassell draws the foul. Greg Anthony is having a very difficult time with Sam Cassell. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining second quarter. The Rockets lead by
2. The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By MGM Blown Away, rated R. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
A hot and humid 84-degree day in Houston, Texas. And on this second day of summer, this the longest that an NBA season has gone. And the Knicks, who have gone to 7 on 3 occasions in the playoffs, playing their 25th playoff game. That is a new NBA record. LA Lakers, Phoenix Suns each played 24 in 88 and 83. And how about Charles Oakley? He's the only Knicks player to play in and start every single game this season. An NBA record 107. For the Rockets, it is their 105th game of the season.
And Otis Thorpe has started in all of those.
Houston leads by 2. 8.5 remaining in the first half. Olajuwon, he's been off the mark. Been forcing shots here in the first half.
And I think the Knicks defense has something to do with their keeping him from squaring up, and he's kind of taking that shot falling away. That's his normal shot, but he's usually squares back.
Traveling violation. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, during that break, Pat Riley, even though they've been hitting a couple of those jump shots, he still was talking about their shot selection. He would like for them to stop taking the jump shots and take the ball in the hole. Try and penetrate. Marv?
Ahmad, the Knicks with their 5th turnover of the game. Houston with only 1. Rockets by 2. Cassell and Ellie at the guards. Olajuwon, Herrera, Thorpe up front. Here's Ellie with the step. And the shot altered by Ewing, and a jump ball is called.
Well, out of that little screen roll situation, Otis Thorpe with the ball got it back outside to Ellie, and instead of looking for jump shot, Ellie is sometimes a decent three-point shooter, but a much better driver and slasher. Did the right thing, took it to the basket, but looked somewhat intimidated by the presence of Patrick Ewing inside.
New backcourt for the Knicks. The starters return, John Starks and Derek Harper. Mario Ellie has been very unhappy about the lack of playing time in this series. He has been getting the time the last couple of games. Played very well in Game 6 on Sunday. And the officials checking with each other.
It's Rockets ball.
And the call is last touch by the Knicks. It will be Houston ball. Hakeem Olajuwon only 3 of 11, 7 points. He does have 4 assists. And Patrick Ewing low-keying it here at the start, 1 for 2 from the field. Herrera stepped out of bounds, says Joe Crawford.
And Carl claiming that he was pushed out of bounds on that particular play as Patrick Ewing gets somewhat of a rest, not having to guard Olajuwon right now, but that's not really a rest. He's got to watch Thorpe, and he'll patrol and roam that lane and look to help his teammate.
Foul on Cassell.
Rockets foul number 10, Sam Cassell, his first.
Sam Cassell, ball for his first team foul on the Rockets.
You can see both hands on the dribbler, not now just grabbing the arm. And this Sam sitting on the bench has to recognize and see what happened early in the ballgame. Well, one was called on Harper and then Smith, and you got to make the adjustment, but he is a rookie.
Olajuwon with the rejection. Ewing lost it off his foot. Ellie. Last touch by Herrera.
Well, I was making the point earlier that Patrick Ewing was looking to pass the ball quite a bit. Right now, he doesn't look sure at what he wants to do. Here, he took the shot with Olajuwon draped all over him. Patrick has looked confused the last 3 or 4 minutes offensively.
Harper setting himself up. On the back tap, comes back to Harper. Good play by Smith. Knicks with the ball trailing by 2. Pick and roll for Ewing. Herrera able to get to it. Ewing thought he was fouled. Cassell overthrown. Looking for Thorpe, and the ball will go back to the Knicks.
And now Patrick Ewing deciding to take the ball hard to the basket to see if something can happen here. No daylight on the strong side. Tries to up and under to the other side. Felt that he drew contact from Otis Thorpe, but doesn't get the call.
Timeout taken, 6:55 remaining in the second quarter. The NBA's most valuable player, defensive player of the year, and every summer, Hakeem Olajuwon's parents travel here to Houston to visit with him. They are in Houston this week. However, they are watching the games on television. We talked about that with Hakeem.
Well, my parents are so funny because when they cannot even watch the game on TV, they keep turning it off and on just to keep the score because they see the contact, the amount of running that we do. My mother say, you really do work for your money. The first time you really see how he was sweating, how fast, but they say, well, that if God's will, we should come victorious. So they support me with their prayers.
There's Charles Smith with the shot clock running down, and he's tied the game at 29. Hakeem was telling us in the past he would send tapes of his games to his parents in Nigeria. He'd only send them the good tapes where the Rockets would win and he'd have a good game. So his parents thought he was invincible, that he never lost a game.
Well, that had to cost a lot of money just sending the good tapes. There's plenty of them.
Rockets and Knicks tied at 29. A Houston turnover. So the ball back to New York with 6:09 remaining in this first half.
And Maxwell coming off that screen nice and tight, but the pass thrown behind him, and the early execution by the Rockets very sharp, but they've had a rash of turnovers in the last couple of minutes, some very careless passes.
Starks and Harper back at the guard. Smith, Oakley, and Mason up front. So Ewing sitting down. Here's Harper for 3. Good box out by Olajuwon. Nearly picked off by Oakley. Thorpe for Horry. Robert Horry. 3 of 6 from the line. 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 3 of 6 from Rockets by 2. For Horry, his second field goal. He has 4 points. Get the idea, Pat Riley wants Patrick Ewing very fresh for the second half. He has sat him down now twice in this first half. Harper, that's a 2-pointer. He's asking for 3, but Ed T. Rush was right on it. And he said, no, it's a 2, and the game is tied at 31. We come up on 5 minutes left in the half. Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon with 9, and the Rockets lead 33-31.
Well, that's the Olajuwon power move there. He put that shoulder into Mason and pushed him off. He's had trouble doing that throughout this series. Mason has been so strong with that low base, and Olajuwon got it done.
Illegal defense called against the Rockets, their first violation.
Normally, Hakeem makes that first contact and will spin back to the baseline, but if you could see Mason's footwork there opened up to allow Olajuwon to come to the middle, and the Knicks do not want to do that defensively. Ewing back into the ballgame. You're right, though, Mark. Patrick has been very tentative in this first half and not sharp, but we've seen that before.
Ewing off the bench to come up short. Mason. Well, the Oakley couldn't put it down. Olajuwon on the floor is tied up by Mason. Patrick Ewing 1 for 5 from the field. Only 2 points.
But Charles Oakley in there banging away, getting between the 3 Rockets and diving on the floor. This is something that was missing in game number 6 and really the last couple of ball games. And that's what the Knicks need from Charles Oakley to get those hustle plays and those possible extra possessions.
There's Kenny Smith for Sam Cassell. 5 points for Cassell. Smith hit 3 for 3 in the early going. Horry controlling the tip. Rockets with the ball. They lead by 2. The Houston Rockets looking to win their first ever NBA championship. The Knicks try to win their first since back in the 72-73 season. Olajuwon for Horry. Nice pass for Thorpe. Horry combining with Thorpe to give the Rockets a 4-point lead.
And this is the kind of defense that the Rockets normally see with the double team right away on Olajuwon. And that's when Robert Horry becomes effective as a cutter and a slasher. Olajuwon finds him.
Starks for 3. The back tap, run down by Smith, recovered by Starks. John Starks. Rockets 35. The Knicks 33.
And give some credit there to Patrick Ewing for hustling right along with Smith to knock that ball loose and get a hustle play and a save for the Knicks and turn into a 2-pointer.
For Starks, his first field goal. Mason jumping out on a switch. Oakley stepped out. Good hustle though by Charles Oakley as he landed in the Houston bench.
Well, this has been the specialty of Charles Oakley, diving into first rows, press tables, whatever to save basketballs, but really it turned out to hurt the Knicks in Game 6 when he saved one over the end line right into the hands, I think, of Robert Horry for a big 2-pointer at a crucial time of the game.
3 on the shot clock. Horry will inbound. Olajuwon. Smith gets it off. And hits! Kenny Smith flinging off glass for 3. Rockets 38. The Knicks 33. And the Knicks take a timeout. They're off the bench to greet Smith.
And Kenny Smith keeping a straight face all the way as Olajuwon, I think, lost track of the time. Bad pass over to Smith. Has to let it fly to just beat the shot clock. He got his normal trajectory, which is line drive. He got his normal spin, which is a slider spin. But I don't think he was aiming for the glass, but he'll take it anyway, the kind of series he has had. As Rudy Tomjanovich is really extremely happy for Kenny Smith, who has handled all of these problems extremely well.
The
Folks, coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, I'll be joined live by NBA Commissioner David Stern. We'll talk about the finals and the general state of the league. And we'll also be joined by Julius Erving for first-half analysis of the Knicks and the Rockets. Dr. J was playing for the Sixers the last time a road team won a Game 7 back in 1982. We'll talk about that as well. Before we send it back to Marv, let's take a look at the last shot by Kenny Smith. It occurs to me that if this were a game of horse, it wouldn't count unless he called bank. It also occurs to me that on the opening, everybody experiencing Game 7 jitters, I double clutched on the Marvelous One's name. So now let's get it right. Back to the king of NBA play-by-play man, Marv Albert.
Matt, I believe the air upstairs here at the summit is affecting Bob.
The humidity got him.
The man has lost it. He'll be all right by halftime. Rockets by 5 as we come up on 3 minutes remaining. First half. And a loose ball foul is called. Loose ball foul called against New York. John Starks called for his third.
Well, the Knicks are trying to make their presence felt on the offensive glass. They already have 7 second-chance points to none for the Houston Rockets, and that was the biggest fear of Houston coming into this ballgame because they know what they did in previous 7 games on the backboards. John Starks ready to walk over to the bench. He knew it was his third, and he knew he was coming out.
John Starks, only 1 of 5 from the field. Greg Anthony has returned. Smith and Vernon Maxwell on the backcourt. Harper and Maxwell ramming each other, and the foul on Harper.
Well, Pat Riley back to his 3-guard rotation. Hubert Davis got a little bit of a look in the second quarter. That puts Derek Harper at the shooting guard spot, trying to prevent Maxwell from coming over and set that screen on Patrick Ewing to free up Olajuwon. And Derek Harper too aggressive with the play. An easy call for the official.
Second on Harper. Rare appearance at the line for the Rockets. Knicks 7 of 10 at the line. Rockets have been there only once. Vernon Maxwell with his 6th point. And the Rockets now lead by 6. From time to time, we have seen a combination of Greg Anthony and Derek Harper, but usually with John Starks sitting down, Pat Riley would go with Hubert Davis or during the regular season upon occasion, Rolando Blackman.
Well, of course, Hubert losing some of his confidence, and Pat Riley consequently losing it in him. And Derek Harper shooting the ball well from the perimeter early in this series. It was easy to tighten up that guard rotation.
Harper lost it. Was it deflected? The outside official, F.G. Rush, says yes.
Well, Derek Harper trying to now penetrate, which he did early in this ballgame, lost possession of the ball, and they're going to say it went off Otis Thorpe.
Biggest lead of the game, 7-point margin. It's now down to 5 with Ewing connecting on his 2nd field goal. The Rockets 40, the Knicks 35. 2:20 to go in this first half. Olajuwon had it knocked away and then called for the foul.
Foul is going on Houston's 34, Hakeem Olajuwon.
That is the first for Olajuwon.
Patrick Ewing, who has been quiet offensively, was looking to pass early in the ballgame. Now looks like he's ready to catch and shoot. Really had to pound off the floor that time to get into the air, extend that right arm, because that shot was challenged hard by Hakeem Olajuwon.
And Harper ran into the pick. And was rather Harper ran Maxwell into the pick, and Maxwell is called for the foul, his first.
Patrick Ewing some 26, 27 feet away from the basket where everybody can see him move that hip. Not a smart foul at all by Patrick Ewing.
2 minutes left in the quarter, 2 minutes.
I'm sorry, they called it the other. I thought they were going to call Patrick for moving, which he did. It was Maxwell running into the moving pick.
Here's Anthony. Back comes Maxwell. He has Smith on the wing. Maxwell takes all the way. Vernon Maxwell breaking out in this first half after a very quiet surge. Rockets by 7. Maxwell with 9 points. Here is Harper freeing himself up. Derek Harper with 11 points. Rockets 42, Knicks 37.
And Maxwell once again felt that Ewing moved on that pick as he got knocked off. And Patrick's going to have to be very careful. He is moving that hip.
The 3 Houston guards. Horry fires for 3. The 3 Houston guards, Maxwell, Smith, and Cassell, have come up very strong in this first half. Up until this evening, they have been severely outplayed by the Knicks. Harper again. 13 points for Harper, and he brings the Knicks within 3.
And right now, Maxwell really confused right now, looking over to the bench for some help on this play. He wants the man guarding Ewing to step out and show or trap because he's getting knocked off and Harper's getting good looks.
Another terrific performance by Derek Harper, who came over from the Dallas Mavericks, rebounded by Ewing. Harper acquired in the deal for Tony Campbell back in early January. Anthony is fouled. And Oakley was pushed aside. Horry having words with Mason. Vernon Maxwell and Derek Harper exchanging words. And it appears a technical has been called. Double technical on Anthony Mason and Robert Horry off the hard foul on Greg Anthony.
Well, Anthony had the open jump shot, decides to take it to the basket among the tall trees and gets knocked hard to the floor and fouled. And Olajuwon kind of lost his footing there, and then when he stepped over and tried to avoid Greg Anthony, Charles Oakley took exception to it and pushed Horry out of there, and then words with Olajuwon.
Well, Greg Anthony in his 3rd year out of Nevada, Las Vegas, following the season-ending injury to Doc Rivers, as you see Earl Cureton check in. Greg Anthony was inserted into the starting lineup, but then Derek Harper was able to crack the starting lineup in March, and Anthony has been coming off the bench. Greg Anthony going to the line for the first time this NBA Finals series. After the good run by Houston, New York has come back. We are down to 20 seconds left in the quarter. Olajuwon is fouled. So Hakeem will go to the line. Patrick Ewing commits his second.
Well, there's another one of those decisive, quick moves by Olajuwon. Felt Ewing on his back. The quick, hard spin fake, and then the hard move into Ewing, creating that contact, as I think Olajuwon realized early in the ballgame he was not getting comfortable position on his jump shot. Now starting to take the ball into the lane and make more power moves.
Anthony sits down. Harper is back. Jent, who has seen limited action in this series, a rookie from Ohio State. Spent most of the past couple of years in the CBA. He's a good long-range shooter. That is why he is on the floor right here. Rockets by 2, 18 seconds remaining in the half. Oh, looked like Jent took a shot in the head. Here's Mason. Oh, he slams it down, throwing up a facial to tie the game at 43. Maxwell. Final seconds of the half. Rockets by 2. Harper looking to beat the clock. Harper gets it off for 3. Good first half here at the Summit in Houston. 7th and final game. The battle between the centers. Patrick Ewing only 2 of 6. 4 points, 6 rebounds. Hakeem Olajuwon 4 for 12 from the field. The high point men, Derek Harper with 13, Vernon Maxwell with 11. Coming up, Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report after these words. Hall of Famer Calvin Murphy, also noted for his skills with the baton going back to his days at Niagara University. Calvin now the Director of Community Relations with the Houston Rockets. The Rockets with a 45-43 lead on the New York Knicks at halftime of Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And Matt, a first half that certainly noteworthy because of the return to the offense of the Houston backcourt combination.
Well, Rudy Tomjanovich has to be very happy with the confidence that both Kenny Smith and Vernon Maxwell are playing. They not only closed the gap in that first half, they surpassed it despite Derek Harper's good first half. But the Knicks also have to be happy because with Ewing and Starks 4 points each, they're only 2 points down.
A look at the Miller Genuine Draft halftime stats. The Knicks 45% shooting. Rockets 19 of 38, 50% from the field. You see Kenny Smith 4 out of 4 for 9 points, including that fling that banked home with the shot clock running down. Knicks with the edge off the boards. That's been a major factor as to who wins and loses in this series. And Patrick Ewing 6 rebounds, but only 4 points. Let's go to Hannah Storm with Houston coach Rudy Tomjanovich.
Thanks, Marv. Coach, your guards are handling New York's pressure pretty well. You guys are shooting 50%. How happy are you with your offensive execution?
Well, we are shooting 50%, but we rushed a lot of shots too. And what we're concerned about is Harper getting to the middle on the pick and roll. We're going to try to make an adjustment there. And what I've told the guys is we've got to compete on every single possession. It looks like it's going to be a typical Knicks Rocket game.
Did you talk to you guys about getting back on defense?
That's our biggest concern this whole series.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the final half of the season. Marv?
Thank you, Hannah. Rockets with a 2-point lead as we head to the third quarter. We'll be back in Houston in just a moment.
Shot back at the Summit. Now, during halftime, Pat Riley told his team that they need to toughen up on defense. Also, he was very happy about the offensive rebound situation, that the Rockets only had 1 at halftime. He also told them that they were the best defensive team in the history of the NBA. So let's go out the second half and prove it. Marv?
All right, Ahmad. Well, Pat Riley using every ounce of his motivational skills in making that point. Well, the New York Knicks attempting to win their first NBA title in 21 years. The Houston Rockets hoping to take their first NBA championship in the history of the franchise. Third quarter is underway. The Rockets by 2. The Knicks with the ball. Harper and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Oakley, and Smith up front. A very quiet first half for Patrick Ewing. Ewing on the rebound. And the game is tied at 45. Matt, you go back to Game 7 in the series against Chicago. Patrick Ewing did not score in the first half. Had a little chat with his one-time college coach, John Thompson. There's Olajuwon getting the step, met by the double team. Olajuwon is blocked and fouled. That's number 3 on Ewing. And then Ewing turned around and had a terrific second half against Chicago and came up very strong in Game 7 in the series against Indiana.
Olajuwon on the fadeaway, and you can clearly see Patrick Ewing just catch him on the wrist and force that shot to go. I don't know what Patrick is complaining about there. He took a bad shot on the first possession, but wisely followed it up. And if you'll remember Game 7 against the Indiana Pacers as well, that's when he really climbed on the offensive boards and helped the Knicks win that ballgame. So even if Patrick is not making his shots, there are other ways for him to contribute offensively, mainly getting to that glass.
He has had a sporadic series, had those 9 for 29 and 8 for 28 shooting performances. He's done it defensively because he has been able to roam because of the changing matchups against Hakeem Olajuwon. Rockets have a 2-point lead. A minute in, third quarter. Starks for 3. Rebound Thorpe.
And of course, John had that quiet first half as well, and he'll be looking to make his presence felt.
He's 1 for 6 from the field. John Starks not able to get going. Nice lead for Thorpe. Vernon Maxwell not only showing the touch, but he has played a very smart floor game.
That was a beautiful pick and roll situation, and Charles Smith actually should have fouled Thorpe there to prevent the layup and make the poor free throw shooter Thorpe go to the line. We have not seen a lot of hard fouls going to layup in this series, which is kind of unusual because so many people are talking about tough, physical, aggressive defense. We have not seen that kind of play.
Patrick Ewing throwing up a fadeaway to bring the Knicks within 2. So Ewing now 4 for 9. He has 8 points. 4 of the 8 coming here in the early going in the third. Olajuwon squeezing his way through. Hakeem has 14 points, and the Rockets lead 51-47. The foul is called against the Rockets.
Well, Patrick Ewing, who's been struggling with this shot here, is going to get pushed out pretty far by by Hakeem Olajuwon. Spins away the fadeaway. He has made a number of these, and just kind of a shake of the head by Olajuwon and Rudy Tomjanovich. Surprised it went down.
A foul on Horry. Ewing throwing it to the backcourt. It is a violation, and the Rockets will get it back.
Patrick trying to throw that ball out after he was penetrating, and a little bit disappointed that Oakley could not catch up with it. Oakley's lateral movement has been on and off throughout this series due to that sprained left ankle, bruised right foot. Some days he looks better than others, running the floor and just moving laterally.
Yes, he's not the same as what we saw against Chicago, even Indiana. He's been playing hurt throughout. Horry on a hesitation dribble. Rejected by Ewing. Second block by Ewing.
That's what I mean about Oakley kind of getting shook loose here by Robert Horry, but helped out nicely by teammate Patrick Ewing, who has done this all series long, has timed the Rockets' shot very well.
What a play! Oakley turned his head, and Horry able to slam it on the inbound. And the Rockets hoping that will provide a spark. They now lead 53-47. Harper. Rebound Olajuwon. Maxwell. For Thorpe. Olajuwon in the lane. Stopped by Smith, who got a piece of it. Trying to do it off the dribble. Ewing. Patrick Ewing with the touch here in the third quarter. The Rocket lead is now 4.
And this is the play that Rudy Tomjanovich was talking to Hannah Storm at halftime about the fact they did not defend that pick and roll between Harper and Ewing well in the first half. They were going to have to make an adjustment. They didn't make one there.
Thorpe off the fake. Throw it away. Here comes Harper. 1 on 3. Harper all the way. Harper with 15 points, and he brings the Knicks within 2. Olajuwon now being played by Smith. Ewing has 3 fouls. Olajuwon making it look very easy off the head fake.
Well, Pat Riley has been going to a different defender other than Ewing on Olajuwon in third quarters, and Smith has had some success. That time, Olajuwon just spun right off him.
Rockets by 4. Oakley kept alive by Ewing. Smith from the rebound. A third opportunity for the Knicks. They are on their feet here at the Summit. 4.5 gone by in the third. And Joe Crawford blowing the whistle. A holding foul called on the Rockets.
6:25.
Foul on Horry, his third.
Well, Charles Smith putting the hand in the back of Olajuwon and tried to move his feet, but just the quickness of Olajuwon on that spin, and Charles Smith not having his knee bent enough, got beat by Hakeem.
There's Smith. And a loose ball foul charged to Oakley. That's his second.
Well, the Knicks have just been climbing the offensive boards, something they did not do well in Game 6. And, of course, Otis Thorpe has that ability to box out and to keep a guy off Oakley off there, as he did, but pushed in the back by Charles Oakley.
Carl Herrera has come on, replacing Robert Horry. 6 points for Horry. Rockets with the ball. They lead by 4. Herrera being played by Oakley. Again, the spin by Olajuwon, and he's fouled. Foul committed by Smith, his second. Timeout taken by the Rockets with 6:57 remaining in the third.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by new Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. Taste the future of draft beer. By McDonald's, official restaurant of World Cup USA '94. And by Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right.
Back in Houston, the superstitious Sophie Tomjanovich has finally made her way to her seat. She watched the early portions of the game in an executive room here at the Summit, and now she is on hand.
Well, you hate to give up easy baskets. Charles Oakley thinks that Horry's going to go to the outside. He gives him a jab step and right to the basket. This man can't help because he's afraid of the man on the right side. And the nice lob pass by Maxwell and the tomahawk jam by Robert Horry. And Oakley, once again, just not able to move laterally. What he should do in that situation is make sure that Horry goes to the outside.
Little poke from Oakley at Robert Horry, who was upset. In fact, teammates had to calm him down when he was back on the bench, replaced by Carl Herrera. Rockets with a 55-51 lead. 6:50 to go. Third quarter. Herrera played by Oakley. Delivers to Olajuwon. Looks to put the move on Smith. Now Maxwell. Bad shot. Still at about 7 on the 24. But a break for the Rockets, who was last touched by the Knicks.
Well, the Rockets are coming out. They're making no bones about it. With Charles Smith guarding Olajuwon, they would like to get Hakeem inside. Terrible execution on the play. And then, of course, Maxwell thinking the clock winding down.
Now the shot clock at 2. Here's Thorpe. Missed the stuff. Knocked out of bounds by Maxwell.
A good sharp cut by Otis Thorpe, and Olajuwon will look for that, and you hate to give up one there, as all he had to do was turn that thing over. Hard to believe he missed it.
Starks and Harper in the backcourt. Ewing with Smith and Oakley up front. There's Harper for 3. And a loose ball foul on Oakley. For Charles Oakley, that's his third foul. So 3 apiece now on Oakley, Ewing, and Starks. For the Rockets, Robert Horry with 4.
And both teams becoming unglued offensively right now. Nothing really that the defense is doing. We saw Maxwell take a terrible shot. Derek Harper rushed a 3 from about 28 feet. So the guards have to get themselves under control.
Herrera played on a switch by Ewing. Shot clock at 5. Good defense by Starks. Thorpe gets it off. Herrera with the offensive rebound. Smith coming up short. And a foul on Herrera.
This ball foul is called on Houston's number 7.
Well, the Rockets now starting to climb in and creep into some openings, although there were 4 Knicks around that time on the defensive board. Carl Herrera in the right spot at the right time for the Rockets gave them another good look at a 3 by Kenny Smith.
Herrera with his third foul. Ewing setting the screen. Derek Harper off the mark. And back come the Rockets.
And both Otis Thorpe and Carl Herrera on those last 2 trips doing an excellent job of blocking out Charles Oakley.
Olajuwon. 18 for Hakeem Olajuwon. The Knicks have missed their last 5 shots. Down by 6 points. Ewing had a deflected short by Olajuwon. For Hakeem, his 3rd block. Maxwell. Smith. Olajuwon. And Ewing with the rebound. Harper pushing it down. Derek Harper has had another outstanding game. Charles Smith played by Carl Herrera. Smith backing his way. Shot clock at 5. Oakley lost it, but fouled from behind by Thorpe.
Foul is called on Houston's 33.
Well,
Charles Oakley, knowing the shot clock was winding down with a little fake of the eyebrows up, got Otis Thorpe leaning a little bit and then tried to put it on the floor and get to the basket and really got a break on the play as he did get shoved by Thorpe, but he was in trouble. He was going to lose possession there.
That is number 3 on Thorpe. Knicks in the midst of a drought. Oakley. So Charles Oakley with only his second field goal. And the Rockets are up 57-53. We come up on 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. They double up on Smith. Smith and Maxwell in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Herrera, and Thorpe on the front line. Here is Hakeem with the spin. And it's rebounded by Oakley. Olajuwon went down, but he's all right. Ewing. Herrera rebound. Patrick Ewing is now 5 for 13. Really tough Janovic calling a timeout with 3:35 remaining in the third. It's the Rockets by 4. Well, apparently they call a 20-second timeout, so we will stay right here. Once again, a close ball game throughout. Houston has led by as many as 7. The Knicks have led by as many as 3. And yet another change. It is now a full timeout. So we will pause for these messages with Houston up 57-53. For the New York Knicks to this point, it has been a quiet game for their 3 all-star representatives, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, and John Starks. In fact, each with 3 personal fouls with 3:35 remaining. In this third quarter, the Rockets have a 4-point lead. Let's check in with Hannah Storm.
Well, Marv, the Rockets talked about better ball movement in that timeout and better spacing. They want to swing the ball and get it into Hakeem. They feel that they've been trying to throw the ball to Hakeem. He's been coming out to get it and is getting the ball in bad position. Marv?
All right, Hannah, Hakeem at the top of the circle as Sam Cassell just checked in. Handling, setting up Herrera. Carl Herrera with a second field goal. And he gives the Rockets a 59-53 lead. Harper guarded by Cassell. Starks for 3. John Starks has been off. Mason with the rebound, another offensive rebound for the Knicks. John Starks has had many games like this during the course of the season. Hugh Evans waves it off a foul against the Rockets. John Starks will try to shoot himself back into the ball game after struggling, and that has been the case here tonight. He's 1 for 7 from the field. The foul was called on Olajuwon, his second. Rockets over the limit, so Ewing to the line for the first time.
And John is starting to show a little frustration right now that he cannot get involved. I saw Charles Oakley go over, give him a little pat on the back, tell him to hang in there. Actually, the Knicks came out executing that play. It looked at first like they wanted to get the jump shot for Oakley. He kicked it over to Starks for that 3, but really the Knicks are not doing a lot of things for John Starks. He normally comes off those little stagger screens very well and sets himself up. They're going to have to get him involved in some screen roll as well.
Well, it's a troublesome situation for the Knicks because they are now in a situation where they must have Starks shoot himself back into it because it does not figure that Pat Riley will go to a Hubert Davis. And during the regular season, he might have gone to Rolando Blackman in this type of scenario. Cassell off a double team. Maxwell fires it with the shot clock running down. And it's a 24-second violation.
Well, Marv, I don't think there's any question that Pat Riley is going to stay with John Starks, even if he's 1 for 14. This is his guy in the fourth quarter. He would just like to get going a little bit in his closing minutes of the third quarter.
2:25 remaining in the third. Rockets with a 5-point lead. Ewing off the drop step. Nice fake to draw the foul. It's on Olajuwon. That is his third.
Rockets foul.
Well, Olajuwon has been measuring Patrick Ewing on a lot of these jump shots. Patrick really didn't make the contact to create the space, but the little head fake got Olajuwon leaning, and Patrick Ewing took care of the rest by initiating that contact.
Patrick Ewing with 8 of his 12 points here in the third quarter.
I see Pat Riley over there talking to his assistant coach, Dick Harder, right now, as the Knicks are struggling with their defense on screen roll situations. They will trap it 99 times out of 100, but it has not been effective right now. The Rockets are ready for it and getting very good shots.
Houston 59, New York 55. A rookie from Florida State, Sam Cassell, handling against the veteran Derek Harper. He feels he can beat Oakley on the baseline. Got the step. Last touch by the Rockets.
While all that was going on, Anthony Mason battling with Olajuwon inside, trying to front. They swung it up top. Decent defense out there by Ewing, but a good defensive job by Mason on Olajuwon.
Matt, the Knicks only won for the last 9. Low-scoring third quarter. Rockets with 14 points. Knicks with 12. Shot clock at 3. Here's Starks. Rejected by Olajuwon. Maxwell try to draw the foul. And the Rockets regroup. Maxwell for the jump shot. Vernon, Maxwell, 5 of 8 from the field. He has 13, and the Rockets now lead 61-55. The Knicks calling for time.
Well, John Starks trying to make something happen, going hard to the basket. A bunch of traffic in there. That you could not get caught up in that frenzy. And Marv, you were even excited about it.
Yes, I was.
I know you were. Okay. Pat Riley right now not very excited. He just cannot figure out what the Knicks can do to score. The only time they look good offensively is when Harper puts it on the floor, gets into the lane, draws some defense to him, and then kicks out to an open shooter. Other than that, nothing looks sharp offensively for the Knicks.
On the other hand, the Houston Rockets, who have a 6-point lead, are trying to win their first ever NBA title. Remember, they did go to the finals in a surprise in Hakeem Olajuwon's second year in the league and were beaten by the Boston Celtics. But at that time, no one took the Rockets seriously. Not the case here this season. Harper hits a 3. Derek Harper with the first 3-pointer of the night for the Knicks. And the Rocket lead is now 3. They double up on Cassell. Maxwell for 3. Air ball. And it will be the Knicks regaining possession.
Well, an excellent look. Of course, Vernon Maxwell was so wide open, he probably felt uncomfortable there. But when the Knicks double-team that screen roll situation, it is opening up a lot of opportunities for Houston.
Oakley, and the Knicks have come roaring back. They are within one with 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Well, this is the way these last 3 games of this series have gone. They have come down to the fourth quarter. We're down to 5 seconds in the third. Herrera, yes. Rockets by 3. Final seconds of the quarter. Starks can't find the look. And that's the end of the third. The basket will not count. Hakeem Olajuwon leading the way for Houston. 8 of his 18 here in the third. 4 block shots, 5 assists. Rockets by 3. Fourth quarter coming up. Back after this from your local station.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
That is what they are playing for. The Larry O'Brien Trophy will be on hand for the trophy presentation following the ball game. It has come down to the fourth quarter. The Knicks have outscored the Rockets in every fourth quarter this series, and John Starks has been the man. 16 of his 27 in Game 6 in the fourth quarter, although he did miss that final three-point attempt that would have won the series for the Knicks. But Hakeem Olajuwon jumping out got a piece of it. So this 1993-94 NBA season has come down to this. Rockets 63, the Knicks 60 as the fourth quarter gets underway. Sam Cassell, and a foul is called. Cassell is back out there along with Mario Ellie. Foul on John Starks, and that is 4 on Starks.
Another indication of John's frustration, not being able to get it going offensively, just 1 for 8 from the field. And a foolish foul there, fouling Cassell, who normally doesn't shoot that middle distance jump shot very well, but does shoot his free throws extremely well. Olajuwon was not on the floor for the last 20, 30 seconds. He's missed a total of 1:15 in this ballgame, getting a rest. And while he's been out, the Knicks have outscored the Rockets 9-2. I don't think we're going to see Hakeem on the bench for a while.
Sam Cassell, who is an 84% free throw shooter, hitting on both. Rockets lead by 5. Harper and Starks at the guard. Ewing, Mason, Oakley up front. Ewing with the fake. Nice move by Patrick Ewing. He has 14. Rockets 65. The Knicks 62.
Olajuwon with 3 fouls there. Still that's a pretty good cushion, but backed off on the Ewing jump hook.
Looked like Ewing got a piece of it. Cassell on the intercept. Cassell with the bucket. Charles Oakley's pass picked off by Sam Cassell. And the Rockets lead 67-62. Ewing with the screen for Harper. Horry rebounds. Pops it down to Cassell. And a foul called on Harper. That's his third.
Charles Oakley securing this rebound, and with the one-hand pass, not able to bring it back. He knew he made a mistake right away as the alert defensive play by Sam Cassell not only picked it off, it knocked in the 2. It's going to be a 2-shot foul as Harper hit Cassell from the back on a clear path to the basket situation. There's nobody in front of Cassell, and Harper just trying to stop the play, whatever. But a good call by the trail official, Eddie Rush, who went right over to Evans to tell him what he had.
Sam Cassell had that clear path to the basket, so he gets the 2. Remember, against the Phoenix Suns in game number 7, the rookie Sam Cassell came up very strong in the fourth quarter, 9 of his 22 in the fourth. And Cassell has had another strong game here. He has 11 points, and the Rockets have matched their biggest lead of the night. They're up by 7. A minute 20 gone by on the fourth. Cassell all over Harper. Ewing played by Olajuwon. Off the fake, Patrick Ewing has turned it around in the second half. He now has 16 points in all. Rockets 69 and the Knicks 64. They double up on Cassell. Herrera now picked up by Ewing. And Herrera stripped, lost it. It'll be Knick ball.
Well, Patrick Ewing starting to feel it right now. Sees that no double team is coming. Little hesitation dribble. The long step and the pump fake to get away and clear himself from the tough defense of Olajuwon.
Charles Smith has come on, replacing Charles Oakley. 2 minutes in, fourth quarter. Away from the ball, a holding foul on Mario Ellie.
Foul is gone.
Ellie in here, not only to give Maxwell a rest, but also he's a very tough defender. And the one thing that Rudy Tomjanovich has to be concerned about, despite the fact that John Starks is not shooting the ball well right now, he knows how hot he can get, how quickly he can do it.
Harper freeing himself up, had the good look. And back comes Cassell. Cassell and Ellie at the guards. Olajuwon up front with Herrera and Horry. Olajuwon with the spin for Horry to the reverse. Robert Horry has come up with several big buckets. And the Rockets lead by 7. 9:34 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well, every time Olajuwon apparently is in trouble, Robert Horry is his bailout guy. He's always moving, slashing to the basket, cutting, and Hakeem generally finds him.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Well, tonight's Miller Moment looks at the 1988 Finals between the Lakers and Pistons. The last time that an NBA Finals went 7. The game won by the Lakers, 108-105, making it 2 straight championships for the Lakers, who, of course, were coached by Pat Riley. The Lakers winning games 6 and 7 at home to prevail. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. And they're a key member of that Laker ball club, Irvin Magic Johnson. James Worthy with an enormous game in that 7th contest, triple-double, named the Finals Most Valuable Player back in 1988. Rockets 71 and the Knicks 64 as we resume. 9 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Shot clock down to 6. Harper picked off by Cassell.
And it all started with the good pressure of Cassell, and he also read the play and forced Harper into an uncomfortable position and a bad turnover.
Starks playing with 4 fouls. Olajuwon over Mason and foul. So Hakeem will go to the line. Mason called for his first personal.
Hakeem being hit and pushed by Mason, trying to knock him off the spot, but Olajuwon just keeps working, feels the body contact from Mason, and just going up there, primarily looking just to get fouled, and that's what he got.
Olajuwon is 4 of 5 from the line. A very impressive stat line developing. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Mark, during that last time out, Pat Riley telling his team that they need to be more relentless. All the loose balls on the floor that the Rockets are getting should be the Knicks. He said they need to make a run right now. If they can do that right now, he feels that the Rockets, even though they're at home, they will get tight. Mark?
Thank you, Ahmad. Biggest lead of the game. Houston is up by 8. And again, they're on their feet at the summit. Starks rejected and fouled. He drew the double team, and the foul was called.
Houston foul 34, Hakeem.
It's on Olajuwon, number 4.
And Olajuwon stepping out to try to help out and prevent the penetration penetration and shot by John Starks. And a good play by Starks just to lean in a little bit to draw that contact as the Knicks keep searching for a way to get John Starks going offensively. They're going to need his firepower to try and get back in this ballgame.
John Starks, 3 of 3 from the line. He has been Mr. Fourth Quarter for the New York Knicks. Last 3 games, first 3 quarters, total of 28 points, but in the fourth quarter, it has been a different story, and in Game 6, he had 16 of his 27 in the fourth and had a shot to win it all in the final seconds. Rockets by 6. 8:35 remaining in the fourth. Cassell, yes. Sam Cassell with 13 points. Rockets lead 74-66. Brett Anthony back on the floor, takes the 3. Rebounded by Mason. Starks for 3. Looked like Horry got a piece of it. And it will be Nick Ball.
Well, Sam Cassell has been brilliant in this fourth quarter at the defensive end, and he got him started off early in the fourth with scoring, and here he just took the ball down to the baseline and shot over the smaller Greg Anthony.
Anthony and Starks now in the backcourt. Here's Starks again. So he continues to fire away. 1 for 10 for John Starks. Houston up by 8. Greg Anthony earlier had big problems with Sam Cassell. Here's Herrera, too strong, and chased down by Charles Oakley, who is back on the floor. Oakley, Ewing, Mason up front. The New York Knicks winning 57 games during the regular season, winning the Atlantic Division, second in the Eastern Conference. Knocked off the Nets in the first round, then beat Chicago, beat Indiana. Here's Oakley, cutting the lead to 6. Charles Oakley has 8 points.
Pat Riley making sure that the Knicks went inside to Ewing, would like to maybe pick up the 5th foul on Olajuwon, but the double team came. They found the open Oakley, and he finally had a good-looking shot leave his hand.
Bad pass thrown by Cassell, and Cassell and Horry having a heated discussion about it.
Well, they do this a lot. It doesn't look very pretty, but this is how they communicate. And then they are good buddies when they get back into the locker room, but they should try to keep more poise out on the basketball floor. It just looks better, and it does not show the other team that you're out of sorts.
Just under 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. Starks setting up Anthony for 3. Greg Anthony with an open 3. And it cuts it to a 3-point Houston lead.
Sam Cassell has been the guy to either go double-team Ewing inside or to help out on the penetration of Starks, and they left another shooter alone who has not been shooting well, but he nailed that.
Olajuwon on the recovery. Cassell for 3. Ewing with the save. Last touch by the Knicks. Both Anthony and Oakley diving for him.
Well, Greg Anthony going to park himself deep in the right corner. The penetration by John Starks set this all up. And so far, Cassell has been the roamer, the guy looking to help out for everybody else. Big hoop for Greg Anthony.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car.
Well, as we mentioned, the last time the Knicks won an NBA championship was back in the 72-73 season. Now, to put into perspective how long it's been, Richard Milhouse Nixon was president at the time. We were celebrating a ceasefire of the war in Vietnam. And a gas strike was stalling millions of motorists from their daily routine. That's back in 1973. And the city of Houston starving for a champion, deprived in football during the Earl Campbell era, again through the Warren Moon years, and the frustrations of the 1986 Houston Astros coming so close to a World Series appearance. Tonight, one champion will be crowned, and with that coronation, years of frustration will be left behind. The city of Houston can claim an AFL title back in 1960 behind George Blanda at quarterback, and the Houston Aeros of the World Hockey Association did win a championship. Olajuwon, yes. Rockets 76. The Knicks 71 with 6 minutes 15 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. A moment ago, Greg Anthony with that big three-pointer, his first three-pointer of the NBA Finals. Now being guarded by Kenny Smith. John Starks for three. Cannot get off. Starks is now 1 for 11.
And that's the second good look at a three in a row for John Starks, and he's really fighting himself right now. He's going to have to try to keep his confidence. Interesting that Rudy T has come back with Kenny Smith. Sam Cassell getting the Rockets off to such a good start in the fourth quarter with 8 points, but I think Rudy felt things coming a little bit unglued during that New York run.
So Vernon, Maxwell, and Kenny Smith in the backcourt. Hakeem Olajuwon, Otis Thorpe, Robert Horry up front. Olajuwon lost his balance. Here comes Anthony. Starks again for three. I don't know, Matt, you reach a point as Olajuwon was back down court, and a 20 is taken by the Knicks. Rockets by 7. I know the Knicks have stayed with the philosophy of going with John Starks, but I would think you reach a point, hey, you got to stop shooting. Timeout call, 5:28 remaining in the fourth.
Grandpa Shaq, tell us how basketball used to be.
Well, the basket wasn't always 20 feet tall.
What about 100-yard courts?
Not even close.
What happened?
All sport.
New All Sport. Unsurpassed taste. A third more carbs than Gatorade for energy. This is a body quencher.
After All Sport, the game was a breeze. Until they put in the moving basket.
All Sport. The game will never be the same.
John Starks is now 1 for 12 from the field. He's 0 for 7 from three-point land. He's moving into the 0 for 14 Dennis Johnson territory. Dennis Johnson, a terrific playoff performer over his career with the Celtics and the Suns and the Supersonics. But Game 7 of 1978 with Seattle, he went 0 for 14. Starks keeps pumping him up. Rockets lead by 7. We come up on 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Anthony for Starks, shooting again. Starks is now 1 for 13.
That was a good shot, Marv, but this is what John Starks is going to do. He only knows one way to play, but what you have to do if you're John Starks is try to penetrate, make plays for other people, and only take the shot when it comes to you. Don't go out of your way to look for it.
Good play by Ewing, but recovered by Olajuwon. Horry with the spin. Loose ball foul called on the Rockets. That is number 5 on Horry.
Rudy Tomjanovich waving there to Horry. Stay in there, stay in there. I'm going to stay with you right now. As Larry Smith, assistant coach, going up to Rudy to talk to him to give him some kind of advice.
Harper back on the floor. Now he and John Starks in the back. But Horry with the steal off the pass thrown by Harper. Here's Smith going right at Harper. And knocked out of bounds by Oakley, who felt the pressure from Horry.
Well, Robert Horry has been going hard to the glass there. May have been a little contact in the back of Oakley. The Knicks have been very fierce going to the glass. As that a bad pass there by Harper, as the pass should have been thrown to the outside hand of John Starks. Just a poor one on the inside.
4:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Rockets with the ball. They lead by 7. Olajuwon now played by Oakley. Olajuwon. Rebound Thorpe. And they'll reset. Only the third offensive rebound by the Rockets. Olajuwon will account. Foul before the shot attempt. The beautiful hit fake by Olajuwon made his way around Oakley and took the kick.
Well, we've seen Hakeem make this spin move on the other side of the floor. That is just a lightning quick catch and go move Oakley cannot just catch up with, as Rudy Tomjanovich would have rather had the made field goal than the foul and the ball out of bounds, obviously.
Non-shooting foul. Knicks with their 4th team foul. Rockets have 3. Olajuwon. And it's rebounded by Mason. Oakley went down, but apparently he's all right. Hobbling his way back up court. 3:35 to go in the 4th. Starks that time hesitated. He had the shot. Ewing comes up short. Rebound Starks. John Starks able to convert the offensive rebound. And it brings the Knicks within 5.
Well, when you get that open part, you can't hesitate. I don't care how many you miss. If you're a shooter, shoot the ball. There's no question John Starks is thinking, but he got a tremendous break there of getting the ball back and laying it in.
We're approaching 3 minutes to go. 4th quarter. 7th and final game of the NBA Finals. Smith had to force it. The shot clock running down. Ewing for Starks. Starks off the dribble. Oh! Rebound Oakley, and he's fouled. Olajuwon going for the block. And the foul has been called. That is number 5 on Olajuwon. Timeout taken. We'll be right back. The Rockets with a 5-point lead on the Knicks. Only 2:51 remaining in the 4th. Another close game as we go down to the stretch. Only once has there been a series where every game was decided by 10 points or less. That's been the case in this series. You'd have to go back to 1955 Syracuse and Fort Wayne. That was the first year of the 24-second shot clock. The foul rundown. 4 apiece on Starks and Oakley. 5 apiece on Horry and Olajuwon.
And a storm telling us during that timeout. Rudy Tomjanovich warning Hakeem Olajuwon, do not foul. We need you in this ballgame. Now, with him having 5, the Knicks probably should look inside. Not probably. They should look inside to Patrick Ewing, see what he's got. If he gets the double team, then make the crisp pass out of there, another pass, and the Knicks will get a good-looking shot.
The Knicks have 3 timeouts left. The Rockets 2 and a 20. Both teams have 4 team fouls. Charles Oakley on the line for the first time. And he has been a solid free throw shooter. 78% during the season for Oakley at the line. Charles hanging in there despite assorted injuries. 9 points, 12 rebounds, 4-point Houston lead. The Rockets 78, the Knicks 75. Some pressure by the Knicks. Horry back to help. And Smith moves it across. Smith and Maxwell in the backcourt. Olajuwon, Thorpe up front. Last couple of years, Kenny Smith has rarely been on the floor in final minutes of the game. It's usually been Scott Brooks or Sam Cassell. Olajuwon with 25. And the Rockets have an 80-75 lead. Now to 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Ewing with the pick. It's a pick and roll. Olajuwon had to let it go. Thorpe with the rebound. Olajuwon stepped away.
And the Knicks like to go to that little fake screen and roll where just Ewing dives to the basket. He was a little bit tentative with the shot.
We're under 2 minutes to go in the 4th. Olajuwon changed his mind. Maxwell for 3. Vernon Maxwell from downtown. And the Rockets now lead 83-75. Timeout called by the Knicks. A minute 48 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Well, the Rockets continue to go to Olajuwon. He was pushed out by Ewing, and he now has been kicking the ball all over, and I mean kicking it out for open shots, as Maxwell, one of his rare threes in this series, and maybe the biggest one.
Vernon Maxwell turning it around. 6 of 10 from the field for 16 points.
arm of John Starks.
Vernon Maxwell hitting his second from downtown this evening. 16 points in all. The Rocket backcourt has turned it around here tonight. The Knicks have hit only one for the last 7. 2 timeouts remaining for the Knicks. 2 and a 20 for the Rockets. 8-point Houston lead. A minute 40 to go. And a foul is called. Ewing was trying to set up down low. And Maxwell called for his second.
Same kind of defense that the Rockets went to in Game 6, very late switching. So Olajuwon was outside on John Starks, and with Maxwell inside on Patrick Ewing. Patrick telling John Starks, throw that ball up higher where I can see it coming so I can catch and make my quick move.
Ewing is 2 of 4 at the line, and from time to time he has had problems in closing minutes of games. Rockets are now over the foul limit. Ewing hitting 1 of 2. The Rockets 83, the Knicks 76. Minute 35 remaining, 4th quarter. Rockets would like to take some time here. The next Knick foul would put them over the limit. Shot clock at 5. Shot clock at 3. Olajuwon with the fadeaway. Rebound Mason. A minute 10 remaining. The Knicks trailing by 7. Here's Harper. And Hugh Evans telling Rudy Tomjanovich, it's my call and the call against the Rockets. Hugh hesitated for a moment as he looked at the Houston bench. And Harper will go to the line. The foul on Smith.
Well, Derek Harper in all kinds of trouble here on his penetration, has nowhere to go. And they're actually, I think they're calling that on Kenny Smith from behind as Harper ran into Robert Horry. They're saying Smith pushed him from behind.
Harper only a 69% free throw shooter during the season. He's 4 of 5 tonight. It has been a superb NBA Finals series for Derek Harper. He has been the most valuable Knick. 20 points for the game. Rockets by 5. We come up on 1 minute remaining in the 4th quarter. Tripping foul called on Starks. That is his 5th foul. So the Knicks are now over the limit with 52 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Maxwell trying to turn the corner on John Starks. He had a hand check, a little foot in there to trip, and Maxwell has struggled throughout this series from the free throw line.
And Vernon Maxwell is 2 of 3 at the line tonight. During the season, a 75% shooter.
But just 57% in this series.
The Rockets, 84. The Knicks, 78. 45 seconds remaining in the 4th. Starks for 3. Rebound Earl. Tied up. And a jump ball is called. Rudy Tomjanovich had to be restrained as he reacted to that call.
He was banging away with Scott Brooks there as he wanted the foul called. Now he starts pushing away at little Scott Brooks, who had nothing to do with it.
Oakley and Horry on the tip. Controlled by the Knicks. Starks again for 3. And a foul against the Knicks. John Starks is now 2 for 17. Oakley called for his 5th foul. And the Knicks are now 2 of 17 from downtown. Starks now with this shot, Matt, 0 for for 10 from three-point land.
And that's exactly where he tried to get the game winner and the NBA championship winner in Game 6, the one that was blocked by Olajuwon. Here he had to give a little double kick in the air to get it up, as obviously his shot just not there. Even the ones where he had good looks and got up in the air nicely wouldn't fall for him. One of those just sick, sad nights for John Starks.
Otis Thorpe only a 66% free throw shooter. 31 seconds remaining. And Thorpe misses both. Timeout taken by the Knicks. The Rockets 84, the Knicks 78. We'll be right back. The Knicks with only one field goal the last 5 minutes and 20 seconds. The perimeter shooting has been their major problem right through the season. John Starks, though, 2 for 17, 0 for 10 from beyond the three-point arc. The Knicks shooting only 39% for the game. Rockets at 34 of 73, 47%. 31 and 6/10 seconds remaining. The Houston Rockets seeking their first ever NBA championship. It is Nick Ball. Rockets lead by 6 points. The Knicks have 1 timeout left. Rockets have 2 and a 20. Olajuwon moving out on Harper. Here's Hubert Davis who just checked in. 3-point attempt. And back comes Kenny Smith. The Houston Rockets, 15 seconds away from an NBA championship. The foul against the Knicks, who are over the limit. Oakley called for his 6th.
John Starks having another good look, and this thing falls about 5 feet short as nobody appeared to hit his arm, and it has just been unbelievable, and people are probably wondering what in the world is Pat Riley doing staying with John Starks in this ballgame. It's only something, Pat will handle it very well, but when you have confidence in a player, a guy that was injured and fought so hard to come back, and a guy who has been your big fourth-quarter guy, you don't want to quit on him in any situation. So in Pat Riley's case, he's trying to show John he has the confidence, but it has just been an awful, awful night.
Also, Matty has no other choices because obviously he's lost confidence in Hubert Davis. He has to stay with Starks, but I think many of Starks' shots will be questioned. 15 seconds remaining in the fourth. The Rockets lead 86-78. Back after this from your local station. For the New York Knicks, it is game number 107, a season that began back on the 7th of October. And that tells the story. There will not be a 5th championship for Pat Riley. 15 seconds remaining. Rockets lead 86-78. The Houston Rockets on their way to their first ever NBA title. That's a 3-pointer. 11 seconds to go. And the Rockets are now up by 5, and the foul was called on Harper, his 4th.
Well, Hubert Davis getting open out on that right wing and has really struggled in this series. Making that 3-point shot. Talking about the woes of the New York Knicks, you got to give a lot of credit to these Houston Rockets. Hakeem Olajuwon not only scoring, but moving the basketball, getting the ball open. And probably the biggest shot of this game was the 3-pointer that Maxwell made.
John Starks finally able. Let's see, Starks now 2 of 18 from the field overall. Maxwell with 19 points. Time is running out. And again, the Knicks able to hit down the stretch. Harper with 23. It's a 4-point lead. 4 and 6/10 seconds remaining.
Foul is called on New York's 44. Hubert Davis.
And the foul on Hubert Davis.
Well, Derek Harper just rushing up the floor. Kenny Smith backing up, making sure no foul there. And it's amazing how quickly an 8-point lead can start to slip away. But if you go down and make your free throws, as Maxwell is doing right now, this one is over.
So Vernon Maxwell, 6 of 7 from the line. Making 7 of 8, 21 points. Rockets again by 6. Time running out on the New York Knicks. The Houston Rockets are the 1993-94 NBA champions. Celebrating with her husband, Rudy. And the city of Houston has won its first major championship. They have defeated the New York Knicks in 7. And eventually we will have the trophy presentation, and for the first time it will take place out on the court. That is, if they do clear the court here at the Summit. Hakeem Olajuwon will wear an NBA championship ring for the very first time. And it should be the hat trick for Hakeem. Most valuable player during the regular season, the defensive player of the year, and undoubtedly the MVP of the finals. The Houston Rockets, the third team in NBA history to come back after being down 3 games to 2 by winning games 6 and 7 at home, as they defeat the Knicks 90-84.
Myers triggers the inbounds pass. Kukoc for the win. It goes! Sends it ahead to Gary. Too far ahead. He saves it. He'll lay it in. Fast break down to Weber. Look out behind the back. What a play by Weber. A combo embraces the ball and the unlikely upset. What? I'll never forget you. I'll never let you.
A wild scene here on the court at the Summit in Houston. The celebration continuing. Sam Cassell being hugged by Coach Rudy Tomjanovich. The Houston Rockets defeating the New York Knicks with a solid performance. The final 90-84. Hakeem Olajuwon, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Matt, despite the fact that he picked up a 5th foul with much time remaining, he was able to hang in. And the Rockets got the big play from the backcourt right from the start. That's something they did not have earlier in the series.
Well, you got to be happy for that backcourt, Mark, because they were much maligned throughout this whole series. Derek Harper and John Starks were having their way with him. Derek Harper had a very solid ball game tonight. John Starks just never could get it going. But you got to be happy for Vernon Maxwell, Kenny Smith, and Sam Cassell, along with Hakeem Olajuwon. They just did an outstanding job.
And for a Western Conference team, the first NBA title since 1988. And they're set here in Houston, the Houston Chronicle reading champions. There it is, first major championship for a Houston franchise. In a moment, we will have the trophy presentation. They're trying to sort things out on the court. We'll be back with all the festivities right after these messages. Wow.
Fans, you're about to become part of NBA history. For the first time ever, the NBA championship championship trophy will be presented live on the court, where your Houston Rockets have just won their first NBA championship. NBA Commissioner David Stern is about to present the Larry O'Brien Championship Trophy to Rockets owner Les Alexander, Coach Rudy Tomjanovich, and team captains Hakeem Olajuwon and Otis Thorpe. And now, Commissioner David Stern.
Two inspired teams showed America and the world about pride, hustle, and determination. But there can only be one champion. And congratulations to the 1994 NBA World Champion, Houston Rockets. Congratulations to Les Alexander, the entire Rockets organization, and to the city of Houston, Texas, or shall I say, Clutch City. Congratulations.
The trophy transfer in these close quarters could be difficult, but a successful handoff from Stern to Alexander. Rookie owner, Les, this might be the NBA's best rookie season since Magic Johnson in 1980.
This is for the fans of Houston, the fans of the Rockets all over the world. They deserve it and they got it. And the players have been unbelievable and the coaches have been just as good. It's really fantastic for the city of Houston.
Rudy Tomjanovich, you have lived in Houston most of your adult life. What does this mean, not just to your team, but do you think to this city?
Well, Houston, you wanted this for so long, you finally got it. I'm proud to be a part of the team that got it for you. And when I say team, I mean it in the true sense of the word. These guys went out and did it together. We've got the best player in the league, but we've got a lot of great players. We couldn't have did it if we didn't do it together.
You play all year for home court advantage. Now the home team has won the last 20 straight seventh games. What did the summit mean tonight?
Well, it meant everything. These people have been so good to us. When we were down, they were down at the airport to pick us up. We love you!
You came back from down 0-2 going to Phoenix after blowing two big leads here. You came back here down 3-2 to the Knicks. I guess Clutch City applies.
Well, I tell you what, this was the most nerve-wracking playoffs I've ever seen in my life. Every game went down to the last quarter, the last couple of plays. I'm just so happy to be on top.
This is your second full season as a head coach. How long could you last if they were all this taxing?
Not too long. Just let me say this. I thank the players for being such a great team. I've got to thank my assistant coaches, Carol, Bill, Larry, Robert, Jim, Joe, Coach Ed, Killer. All right.
One last question, Rudy, before we hear from Hakeem Olajuwon, who was the regular season MVP and now I'm told is the unanimous MVP of this series. You used to say that you studied Pat Riley. You used to say you studied Pat Riley when you were a scout. You went against Riley in this series. A great job he has done with the Knicks. Some thoughts on your opposition in this series?
Well, we respected them. You know, that we're very similar, so we had to respect them because we're just like them. He's a great coach. It's an honor to just get a win, but it's not a personal thing ever. It was the Knicks against Houston.
Rudy, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Ahmad Rashad, who is with Hakeem Olajuwon. Ahmad.
All right, thanks a lot, Bob. A lot of people in Houston thought that for this team it was destiny, but it was more than that. It was great play by a great team who is now the NBA champions. Hakeem.
Well, finally, I just want to thank God that he has given us this opportunity. And playing together as a team, you know, I still can't believe that we have won the championship.
You know, a lot of people talk about your play, your calmness this year, but the guys around you also came along very strong.
Well, you know, just teamwork. Teamwork, that's the key. I just like to thank all my teammates for the great job. Kenny Smith, Maxwell, they did a wonderful job tonight.
Well, when you talk about earlier on in the series, they talked about the guards took a lot of heat, but you guys came back strong today.
Well, I told Vernon, you know, main thing that we had to do was concentrate on these last two games, and when God is willing and say anything's able. So
it's a great feeling right now.
All right, for Vernon, what a wonderful game you played today. Totally under control, and that big, huge three-pointer in the fourth quarter.
Well, Dream made a good pass to me, and the clock was going down, and I just took the shot with a lot of confidence and knocked down a big shot.
And I would like to be the first to congratulate you on winning the NBA championship, Vernon.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We worked so hard for it, and we're going to celebrate right now. Thank you, Mark.
All right, we will be back with more of the celebration and more interviews when we return to the summit here in Houston, Texas. Welcome back to the summit where the Houston Rockets have just won the NBA championship. I'm joined now by Sam Cassell and Otis Thorpe. And Sam, there was so much said early on in this series about the New York Knicks guards outplaying the Houston guards.
Well, that was true, but we just wanted to show the New York Knicks guards that we are capable guards who can go out and have a big night and a night too.
Yeah, but now you being a rookie, you did not play like a rookie the entire playoffs.
I don't feel like a rookie now. I played 105 games. My teammates has a lot of confidence in me on the court, so I just go out and do what I got to do.
All right, congratulations to you on being a champion.
Thank you, baby.
All right, OT.
Yeah.
You had a long road. You started off playing Buck Williams, and then you had Charles Barkley, and then you had Karl Malone, and now Mason and Oakley. It's got to be strong for you.
Well, it's pretty strong, but right now I'm happy with what I got right now. We won the championship. That's the most important thing.
When Hakeem was named MVP, he credited his teammates, that it was an award for the entire team, and you guys played like that the entire way.
Oh, definitely. When Hakeem came out, and he started out the year great, but we just circled around him and just try to do what we can. Everything blended in together. Without that chemistry, we wouldn't be where we are today. Hakeem did a great job this year, and I think everybody did a great job also.
Now, the Knicks had outscored you guys in every game in the fourth quarter. What was your feeling going into the fourth quarter tonight?
I think we felt very comfortable out here on our floor. We definitely wanted the championship. We knew we had 12 minutes to go. It was just a matter of going out there executing and just playing some defense.
You think in terms of respect that you guys, now that you've won a championship, you get it throughout the league now?
If we don't get it, something's wrong. Because right now we're the world's champs, and we're the best team out right now. And we feel proud of that. The city feel proud of it, and we're going to live up to it too.
All right, congratulations to you.
Thanks. Can I say hi to everybody back in Florida? What's up?
You may do that. Now we will take a moment. We'll go over to Hannah Storm, who is outside the Knicks locker room. Hannah?
All right, actually, we're coming in the Knicks locker room right now to talk to Coach Pat Riley. Pat, we're live on the air. If you can come up here, please. You have focused for 3 years on winning a championship with your team. To come this close in this tightly contested finals and then not win the championship, what did you tell your guys afterwards?
Well, the first thing that I want to do, and the Houston Rockets are so deserving of it, and they won it. They did what they had to do to win it. I want to congratulate Rudy and their organization and their players, and they can walk proud with this accomplishment. They played a hell of a team, and I know it's a tough time for us. We've had a long, hard road. Played 24 or 25 out of the 26 playoff games, and there's nothing that I could really say to the guys because there isn't any solace that I can give them because this is a very personal thing that they have to go through. But I've never been prouder of a group of guys and the effort they made, and we will continue to work at this thing, and one day we'll be up there holding the trophy.
Coach, John Starks had been so instrumental in bringing the series to a seventh game. Because he had been so important, did you feel like you had to stay with him even though he wasn't hitting tonight?
Yes, you go with your guys that got you here, and John is the kind of player that's so explosive. Had we had any kind of an edge where we had some airspace, maybe I could have given him a rest, but we were always fighting from behind, and it came down to a great hook by Hakeem, and then Maxwell's three really almost put the game out of reach. At that particular time, we had an opportunity.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations on a fine season. Marv?
All right, Hannah, we are in the midst of the confetti that has come down from up above here. A wild celebration at the summit in Houston. Hakeem Olajuwon, as you are well aware, winning MVP honors, and what a fitting conclusion to a magnificent season for Hakeem.
Well, Marv, this all started about a year and a half ago when the Rockets were 14-16, and Rudy Tomjanovich convinced Hakeem Olajuwon that he was going to have to trust his teammates if things were going to turn around from the Rockets. He convinced him, and it happened.
Hakeem Olajuwon finishing up with 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists for the series, average just under 27 points per game. a sporadic series for Patrick Ewing, who had the two poor shooting performances and had some tough moments down the stretch. And among the great centers who never won a title, Patrick Ewing remains in the group, along with Bob Lanier and David Robinson, who has only played 5 years in the NBA, and the name Hakeem Olajuwon is lifted from that particular core. So the Houston Rockets knock off the New York Knicks in 7. They are the 93-94 NBA champions. Let's go to Bob Costas. Bob?
Marv, thanks a lot. And as always, Marv Albert along with Matt Gukas calling the heck out of what turned out to be a very dramatic, exciting, and closely contested NBA final. Before we wrap things up by talking about the Rockets, a word here about the Knicks. You've heard the Pat Riley quote, in the NBA, there is winning and misery, nothing else. And you know there's misery in that Knick locker room right now. And Pat Riley holds himself to a standard much higher than anyone else would expect of him or his team. You hope, though, when the misery fades, some satisfaction, maybe not the ultimate satisfaction, but some satisfaction will set in, because if the essence of coaching is maximizing strengths and minimizing weaknesses, that's what he did all season long, right down to the final game. But a limited team saw its flaws catch up with it. They don't have that many options, and tonight Starks and Ewing came up empty. Ewing 7 for 17 and Starks 2 for 18. As for the Rockets, this is an early edition of the Houston Chronicle. Literally fresh off the presses. And I guess, I'm told in my ear here, while I was running up from the court, Marv showed it to you, so he scooped me again. The Rockets were the best team at the start of the year. They won 15 straight right out of the gate. They are the best team at the end of the year, if only barely, right down to the wire, a 7-game victory over the Knicks. So that wraps up a season of coverage of the NBA. Let's hope I remember all the names for Ahmad Rashad and Hannah Storm and Pete Bessie and Bill Walton, Dr. J, Matt Gukas, Marv Albert. I'm Bob Costas. Good night. Congratulations to the Rockets, and so long from Houston, where the Rockets reign as the champions of the NBA.
In a new world, a new standard of excellence, NBC Sports.